What do you think?
I agree with it. It was really lovely, honestly. I really liked the speech. That's about it.
Young, hot Miami girl just said, I completely agree with it. What's going on? This is crazy.
What about you?
I agree because
Black Boss Queen agreeing with based message from TradCon. Bro, when you ask women, do you want to have a loving husband who will take care of you and you cook meals, you take care of his kids, and the most meaning you will derive from your life is being a mother, and then they have the opportunity to choose that, they choose that. This is how unpopular the radical left-wing ideology is.
Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world.
He said, I would venture to guess, and you even hear a baby crying in the audience because there's a mother there. This is a Catholic school, this is a religious school, conservative environment. If you're getting upset that someone is giving a conservative religious speech at a Catholic school, think of how wide-reaching they want their tyranny to be. They're calling for this guy to be expelled from the NFL. They're trying to ruin his life. They've been purporting slander against him for the last 72 hours on Twitter in a complete rage, in a complete deranged fit of totalitarian impulses. Yo, guys, I just came across the most incredible Fresh and Fit video I may have ever seen. They have a panel of women, and they're asking them if they agree with this NFL kicker's statements at the college that, has feminists and liberals in a complete tailspinning on Twitter for the last 72 hours. But the responses are not what you would have expected at all. In fact, it's actually, when I listened to the entire speech, because they played the entire speech here, I was shocked and seriously blown away that anything he said could have been controversial. And in fact, what he said was actually empowering to women who were graduating. And, the main thing that they're saying in, these feminist rants on Twitter is that he's telling a bunch of graduating women that their entire purpose is to be housewives. But that isn't even what he said. And until now, I hadn't even watched the video of his entire speech fully. I'd only seen 3-minute segments. And I think that most feminists, and in fact, maybe 95% of the people that are losing their minds haven't watched it either. They first play the video, and then they ask a panel of 9 or 10 women what they think about it. Their answers will shock you.
Yeah, and for those that don't want to come over and talk shit, man, fuck y'all, man.
Catholic school.
All right, now let's play it. Let's play the clip. Get the links.
It is only in the past few years that I have grown in courage to speak more boldly and directly, because as I mentioned earlier, I have leaned into my vocation as a husband and father, and as a man. To the gentleman here today,
keep in mind, all the women at the panel are going to react to this, and their reaction are not what you think at all.
Part of what plagues our society is this lie that has been told to you that men are not necessary in the home or in our communities. As men, we set the tone of the culture, and when that is absent, disorder, dysfunction, and chaos set in.
Classic red pill Andrew Tate message right there. It's completely objectively correct.
This absence of men in the home is what plays a large role in the violence we see all around the nation.
Correct.
Other countries do not have nearly the same absentee father rates as we find here in the US, and a correlation could be made in their drastically lower violence rates as well. Be unapologetic in your masculinity, fighting against the cultural emasculation of men. Do hard things.
The fact that, okay, you're going to hear the rest of it, but I just want to say the fact that feminists are losing their minds over this and slandering this guy, attacking his masculinity, creating complete slander against him, is chilling in a way that I haven't really seen the attempts to cancel people ever before. Even with people like Alex Jones, the amount of hate and derangement and just anti-reality statements coming from, it feels like millions of people online is insane. I understand that this guy has a lot of support. Obviously, his jerseys are selling like crazy right now. But the hate isn't even rooted in anything he said or reality.
Never settle for what is easy. You might have a talent that you don't necessarily enjoy, but if it glorifies God, maybe you should lean into that over something that you might think suits you better. I speak from experience as an introvert who now finds myself as an amateur public speaker and an entrepreneur, something I never thought I'd be when I received my industrial engineering degree. The road ahead is bright. Things are changing. Society is shifting, and people young and old are embracing tradition. Not only has it been my vocation that has helped.
This has feminists enraged right here. This is wrecking them. I think the fact that we're able to speak out in a way that is clearly unafraid of them is the reason they're being so vicious.
me and those closest to me, but not surprising to many of you, should be my outspoken embrace of the traditional Latin Mass. I've been very vocal in my love and devotion to the TLM and its necessity for our lives. But what I think gets misunderstood is that people who attend the TLM do so out of pride or preference. I can speak to my own experience, but for most people I have come across within these communities, this simply is not true. I do not attend the TLM because I think I am better than others, or for the smells and bells, or even for the love of Latin. I attend the TLM because I believe, just as the God of the Old Testament was pretty particular in how he wanted to be worshiped, the same holds true for us today. It is through the TLM that I encountered order and began to pursue it in my own life.
Keep in mind, women are going to be reacting to this.
Congratulations on an amazing accomplishment. You should be proud of all that you have
And this
achieved.
is obviously an edit from, a liberal source, a feminist source.
Achieved to this point in your young lives. I want to speak directly to you briefly because I think it is you, the women, who have had
Keep in mind, this imagery was shown to the women on the panel too.
most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now about to cross this stage and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career?
Our society's done nothing
Some of
but
you may
fight
go
women.
on to some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world.
He said, I would venture to guess, and you even hear a baby crying in the audience because there's a mother there. This is a Catholic school, this is a religious school, conservative environment. If you're getting upset that someone is giving a conservative religious speech at a Catholic school, think of how wide-reaching they want their tyranny to be. They're calling for this guy to be expelled from the NFL. They're trying to ruin his life. They've been purporting slander against him for the last 72 hours on Twitter in a complete rage, in a complete deranged fit of totalitarian impulses. But there's nothing wrong about what he just said, and he just acknowledged that they're probably excited to become mothers, which the data shows that they are, but what they're upset about is the fact that he can say that without being afraid. People are becoming less and less afraid to speak out these days, which is the reason why they're also upset that he said society's shifting. People are willing to embrace the traditions. But the interesting part of this video is still yet to come.
I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother.
This is how the feminine psychopathology
Truly started.
This is how the feminine psychopathology, in a very embarrassing way due to its revealed unintelligent aspects, portrays marriage and motherhood. This is the anti-humanity cult that is defined in this imagery here.
As a wife and as a mother. I'm on this stage today and able to be the man I am because I have a wife who leans into her vocation. I'm beyond blessed with the many talents God has given me, but it cannot be overstated that all of my success is made possible because a girl I met in band class back in middle school would convert to the faith, become my wife, and embrace one of the most important titles of all, homemaker.
Roaring applause at the religious school. Also, I want to say that I do not look down on him for getting emotional there, even though people like Andrew Tate would say, oh, why are you crying? He said the same thing about Jordan Peterson. I don't agree with that. So look, they in this imagery, before we get to the girls, I just want to point out that they're trying to portray objective morality as totalitarianism when they, in fact, are trying to propagate lies to women. And we know that psychologically women are the most miserable when they are single and childless.
So in class,
Anyway, moving on. They asked the women. Listen to their responses. Girls from Miami. We know how the girls in Miami are. If you've watched Fresh and Fit, you know how the girls on Fresh and Fit are. Listen to their responses, though.
to kind of give
And
your
real
thoughts.
quick translation. He just saying get in the kitchen. All right, go ahead. Basically,
L fresh, bro.
What are your general thoughts?
I get the paradigm of giving the speech at a graduation where women are going to go into their career, but I thought it was actually refreshing and kind of, I thought it was very beautiful and lovely. I don't see why there's such a huge...
Okay, but maybe just one girl, right? When I heard this, I was like, oh, who's saying that? Oh, right, she's 34, so she's probably regretting her past mistakes from her 20s, and she wants a husband. That's why she likes this video. The rest of the girls are just going to be completely, slandering this guy, making fun of him, questioning his masculinity. But that's not what happened. We know that Fresh and Fit completely agree with him, but they're still challenging the women to say, wait, you really agree? Are you sure you agree with that was a lovely and good speech?
I thought it was actually refreshing and different. And
You don't.
What are your thoughts? Agree, disagree?
Next girl.
I forgive his mindset on because we were raised basically in a patriarchal society. So, but I forgive his mindset because to him he feels like it's right, it's traditional. He's not unconventional, so I understand his perspective. You know, it was a little passive. It wasn't like aggressive. So, I guess I could agree to disagree
Because he was so clearly speaking from his heart, because he was in alignment with objective morality and society. A woman that is not just purely psychopathic can't go hard at him when you ask them to be honest.
was respectful about it. It's like he doesn't even know any better. That's how he was raised.
So
Traditional.
she clearly disagrees with him, but that's interesting. But her response is interesting.
So you disagree with the message.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
You like that he delivered it, how he delivered it, but you
Yes.
disagree with the message.
Respectfully, yes.
Okay. All right. Why do you disagree with it in particular?
Well, because I don't believe that society should be too
Okay.
patriarchal. 100%.
You don't
Right, classically empty-headed woman, but it's exactly what you would expect from Fresh and Fit, from the Fresh and Fit podcast.
even. What do you
I
think?
agree with it. It was really lovely, honestly. I really liked the speech. That's about it.
Young, hot Miami girl just said, I completely agree with it. What's going on?
Okay.
Are things shifting?
You don't. What about the the idea of it? Like,
Women have propaganda that they repeat in order to be good people and fit into the group ideology, but when they're offered, do you want to have the life that you literally dream about? Have a husband that takes care of you and children? 99.9% of women will choose that.
telling a bunch of girls that are getting their. I mean, how would you
Mine pushes back and says, are you sure?
feel if a guy went up on your graduation day and said, "Hey, I know you worked really hard to get this degree, but you should be in the house."
I don't feel any type of way.
You didn't feel any type of way about it? Okay.
Based.
So you.
What this shows is the amount of pressure and fanatic messaging that is pushed onto women to deliberately make them miserable because the Marxist ideology, which is so much deeper than a political ideology, it's more of a resentment for objective reality, is so diametrically opposed. They are enemies with the individual identity, individual accountability, and responsibility. The resentment demands a denial of objective frameworks, logic, rationality, and reason.
agree with it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
What about you? What do you think?
I mean,
Next girl, another hot young woman from Miami.
pretty much the same opinion. Like,
So you're walking the stage for your nursing degree, and you're gonna just be
So
like,
she just said that she's agreed. She just said that she'd agreed. But Myron's going to challenge her again and say, oh, wait, are you sure you agree with him? Because he's in shock right now.
he's like, "Hey, you need to be home nursing your husband, not nursing some strangers at a hospital."
I mean, to a feminist, there's only one reply to that. It's like, oh, yeah, fuck him. Oh, my gosh, I'm a boss, babe. No man going to tell me what to do. But her response is shocking.
I'm not really going to argue with it.
Are you listening to this? Do you see why I had to show you this footage? If you're watching, subscribe to the channel, by the way, because we are censored. The Matrix does not want you to realize this. And when I say the Matrix, that is a low-resolution term that some people have coined to describe the anti-humanity ideology of Marxism. Next woman. This is crazy.
What about you?
Dude.
I agree because
Black Boss Queen agreeing with based message from TradCon. Bro, when you ask women, do you want to have a loving husband who will take care of you and you cook meals, you take care of his kids, and the most meaning you will derive from your life is being a mother, and then they have the opportunity to choose that, they choose that. This is how unpopular the radical left-wing ideology is. The only reason you have these deformed freaks on Twitter and all the people that are liking those posts, they're doing so out of a desperation to an ideology that says your allegiance to this ideology is what defines your good person status. Is it more obvious?
I mean, it is cool and all when you get your own degree and you do all that type of stuff, but it is funner when you're just home and you
Bro,
get
her IQ isn't even 100 and she still knows.
everything you wanted. Like, you would have to work, like, getting your degree, meaning, like, you still gotta work.
You said funner?
Fun.
More
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, I could get my degree and be a boss queen, but it's just better to be a feminine woman at home and get everything that I want. I mean, she's not wrong, though, right? Like, that's completely true. Yes, correct. And that's what us as men want from women. But feminism says, no, that's oppression. That's toxic. You can't be happy.
More fun. Yeah,
They're trying to depopulate the planet.
more fun
There you go.
for a girl, at least. Like, nobody want to be working all day. Like, I'd rather cook. And if I'm hungry, I'm going to cook. So, house dirty, you should want to clean it. So it's like certain things that just come with staying home that you do already.
Guys, when I heard this, I was thinking to myself, I was in the middle of a StarCraft game, and I missed my pylon, and I just continued to think about this for 10 seconds. I ended up losing the game because I was so distracted by what these women were saying. I was like, how is this possible? She just said that women should want to keep the house clean and cook. The culture is starting to shift. People are recognizing that the left is fraudulent. They're lying to us. They are lying to women. You should send this video to everyone that you know.
Just would be doing it with your husband.
Okay.
All right. What about you? You agree? Disagree?
I agree with his message. I feel that if first of all, like you said, it's
Dude, this is ridiculous. We're now 5 for 6 women, and technically 6 for 6 that like respected what he had to say. 5 of them agreed with him.
Catholic schools.
But this doesn't match up with the produced outrage that clearly is some sort of desperate backlash by a fringe minority that is so disconnected from reality, it's not even funny.
So if you attend a Catholic school, you understand how important it is, everything that he said, how it meant to him.
Mm-hmm.
You can also tell by his emotion that he really meant what he was saying, and he wasn't trying to say it in a bad way. It's truly what he believed in, and if you are going there and you've been in school for that long, you should have thicker skin than that. If you believe you want to be in the workforce or you want to do whatever it is you want to do, someone telling a speech at your graduation shouldn't really affect it.
Not only was that just shockingly coherent, but she actually made a good point, which is that if you're at a college that is Catholic and you want to be a boss queen, you want to work 80 hours a week and not have a family, you can do that, but you shouldn't get upset at the speaker. Like, actually, just a great point. It's like when women are put in their feminine, they aren't as antagonistic towards reality.
I think it was
Okay, so you're saying given the type of school they went to, they should expect that.
Yeah, I feel like it's...
Okay.
Feminism takes women out of their feminine energy and makes them angry and enraged and tells them that any type of objective framework or accountability is oppression, when that's a lie. We must break this lie so that we can rescue women from having destroyed futures.
You agree with it, though?
Yes.
You do agree with his
She agrees with it, too.
message. Okay, you don't think women should really be in a workplace like that? All right, what about you?
Oh my
What
God, bro, what is going on?
I would say I respect it because it's his opinion.
Okay, but do you agree with that opinion?
I do not.
Okay. The kitchen comment.
But I don't
Come
judge.
on.
So she does agree. Fresh just took an L and messed up the sample. But she just acknowledged that she doesn't have a problem with that, and she respects it. Next.
And see, she remembers the last thing she heard, which is the kitchen comment. Come on, man.
But okay, hold on.
But
Look at 18, man.
I
But
also
look
feel
at
like
long term
it's
though.
how you
That's
take
what he's
it.
basically saying in a nutshell.
Yeah, but she's...
No, it's not. So cringe, Fresh. What are you even doing?
The kitchen thing, you should want to know how to cook. Like, get in the kitchen.
But
If
then the women come in and say, no, I want to learn how to cook. This is really interesting.
like, going back to the kitchen thing, you should want to know how to cook. Like, get in the kitchen.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Bro,
and I'm
what? And then the other women are nodding. Dude, what am I in the Twilight Zone? This is Fresh and Fit, right?
going to do that.
The same show that I recorded a video to last week of a woman saying that facts are subjective.
You're gonna get a nice meal and go to sleep nice and full. I feel like you should want that in the kitchen.
But again, she's saying she don't want that.
I
would be fine.
Dude, I'm going to show women this video and ask them if they disagree or agree with this blonde girl right here, and I'm going to use that as a benchmark for if they get to be my wife. That is, this is like, you know what? People that are older than 30 years old don't fully appreciate what I'm about to say right here. But my generation, we've missed out on truly feminine women because the dating pool in my generation has been so utterly obliterated with feminist resentment mind rot. This is very rare. You can bring it out of a woman for sure because once she reverts to her natural feminine energy, then the feminist hive mind stuff just tends to go away. But this used to be the default factory setting to all women. Can you imagine how great of a world that must have been?
If your daughter came to you right now and said, "Mom, I found the man of my dreams," you know for a fact, someone can tell you 100% he's gonna cherish your daughter to the day she dies. She said, "I just gotta be his housewife, take care of him." No.
Unless you're the 1% on Twitter that is actually so ravenously destroyed by resentment that you would sacrifice your own daughter's life on the altar of the woke ideology, which many women already have done.
Baggage that social media likes to bring. Or she says, "I can pursue my occupation that I prefer my whole life and not have any kids." As a mother, would you like your daughter to be
Now, keep in mind this girl's 18 years old, but let's hear what she has to say. Let's
with
hear
a
her answer.
husband, with a family, you eventually have grandchildren, or do you want her to pursue that occupation?
A or B?
With her husband.
Facts.
Boom. All right.
What about you? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts. I want to be a housewife. Actually, it's like kind of.
Dude. What's going on? Oh my gosh, is the warfare successful?
Weird.
Do you agree with it or disagree with it?
I agree with that.
Anyway, guys, I just had to show you this because this video is shocking. I was doing double takes during my game as this was happening. If you're watching, be sure to subscribe. I'm on a mission to do battle with the forces of darkness.